Hi everyone, hello from my balcony in North Cyprus. I'm so excited to be back and be with my dog and my cat again, and just like land really. As soon as I got back here, kind of like, whoa, okay, I'm back here. This is my time to be sharing my messages again. And I think it's so interesting the way timing is just always like divine timing. The more you open up your heart and connect really with the guides that are coming down to us, or say down, but are around us, from the different places that they might be, the different dimensions that they might be in. Hey, Fika, come to say hello. So and also to be back with my galactic cat as well, which is amazing. But yeah, the more we open up, the more we experience that divine timing is always at play, and this brings us to a real sense of trust, actually. And for this full moon, one of the words that I've had in my head for the last kind of 48 hours, really, that I wanted to share, I was going to share yesterday, but I ended up not doing it, so I'm sharing today, is the Aries full moon message, really, for us as dog owners, is about Pawcrastination. Okay, because really, Aries is a strong driving force in our lives. The Aries energy is the creator, the initiator. It's very much actually linked in, although it's not completely the throat chakra. It's about being a pioneer, and it's about speaking your truth. So this energy that's with us now, with this full moon, if you're not doing that, it can feel quite resistant. You can start beating yourself up about this and being like, why aren't I doing this? Why can't I get my message across? Why am I still procrastinating? And this actually perpetuates the cycle of procrastination, of course. You know, if we've got messages to speak out, we have this very strong driving creator pioneer force with us, then it can, if we're not letting that in and we're not relaxing into it, it can feel actually worse at this time. Now, funny, the car going past, because I was just thinking I wanted to tell you about last night. I did a light language here, based on the guides that are the galactic guides that are here with the portal that's here in North Cyprus. And I pulled through again a lot about voice, because they've been silent for a very long time. There's very few people that have been to this half of the island in the world in general, and most people don't even realize that this is a separate country to EU Cyprus. So, you know, they've felt like they've been very silent compared to other places. You know, everybody knows about the pyramids in Giza. If you don't know about them and you're holistically minded, where have you been, you know? And even the big Mayan pyramids that are being found, which actually are larger in size than the Giza Plateau pyramids. Then there's also the ones in Bosnia. These were quite recently found in the grand scheme of things. But there's, you know, these places are across the world, and there's an awful lot in Mesopotamia. There's an awful lot in Turkey as well, which is just over there in another of my lives. You might even see it. It feels sometimes like we're on a lake, not a sea, when we look out across to the sea, because you can often see Turkey because we're that close. And there's an awful lot over there as well. These beautiful sacred sites where they basically revered and wanted to connect to, and use these sacred sites to connect to the different constellations that they could see at the time. And absorb the ancient wisdom and really connect with them. And these guides feel like that they have waited so long that when you start doing or connecting and do this light language from them and bring this through, it's so quick, really, really quick. And the reason the car's important, because right at the end of this light language that I was doing, which I did with my goddess friends that live over here as well, we had a series of motorbikes come, who, of course, motorbikes sound a lot louder than cars, don't they? So they were really strong coming up the hill. And it was like, whoa, that is a driving force. If you ever heard one, it was so strong. And I think the main message is to not really go into this, oh, I should be, you know, it's about trusting, really trusting to bring your voice through at the right time. And, you know, what you could always do is sorry, something's in my eye, whether this is part of the message, I don't know. But what you can do is you can start to write, or you can, you know, make a video that you have no intention of putting out there. You're just making this video or making this audio on your phone or your device, and just to allow it to start to flow from you with no judgment on who's going to see it or how it's going to be received, and just allowing that driving force to start coming through you, because really your heart is your magnetic center. That is what is giving and receiving and attracting all the time magnetically. And when you start to get that flowing, even if you're not specifically intending it to go out to anybody, it starts that flow going. It really gets that magnetic energy, your driving force, to flow again. And if you can do that under the Aries energy, you know, this is still going to be around. The full moon has obviously been yesterday. I think it was about 4 o'clock in the UK yesterday, but the energy is still there. This lovely Aries energy that we can tap into. And it's when we're in resistance to these things that we end up with the issues. Now, a full moon will highlight all emotions. So sometimes we can feel a little bit tearful on the day of the full moon. And I would, again, just trust that that's part of the process. All it's doing is bringing up emotions for you, just highlighting what's going on for you. But nature does not know good or bad. And we need to get back into this state of evolving alongside nature to really bring through our gifts and bring through our driving force. So if you're feeling that the full moon energy in Aries is bringing up things for you, I would encourage you to sit with those feelings, not to try and push them away, because whatever you resist will just end up coming back when we have another full moon, which, okay, will be in a different sign and it might show up in a different way. But really it's sitting with them. And I think very often we don't realize the power of being in these frequencies, because emotions are frequencies, they're energy in motion, they're measurable. So yeah, really sitting with them and allowing them to come through. And yeah, it's just getting that flow going. I'm going to do a card now. Cat has sat directly behind me. Interesting. She's great. Absolutely great. When I first found out about the portal here, which really, I call it the portal because I don't know another word for it, but it's kind of a Q site. It's an energetic Q site to activate the true portal, which is in the South Pole. And you can't get to the actual portal Q site because it's military protected, which is fascinating. It's powerful. The ground, when I went as close as I could, was super, super hot. So let me just pull a card out from the Sacred Canine Heart about procrastination. So let me see what they've got to say. Oh, okay, right. Well, we know, what have I just been sharing about connecting to the heart? Empower feelings of joy and enthusiasm. Absolutely, definitely. I always think this card's a little bit like Fusa as well. Ever so sweet. It's a nice sweet card, but it's also very golden. The dog has this huge golden bell on its collar, which I also always think is like a little golden planet almost that's coming through for us, sending its energy through. And it's the beginning of the flower of life that is hovering around as well. So it's like the beginning of our new magnetic template, in a way, that the Sacred Canine Heart really wants to say to you, about connecting to who you really are inside and sharing that with the world. And who we are inside is a joyful being. So when the thing with Aries as well is you can really be sometimes feeling like you need to fight for something when you're in Aries. It can be quite a strong energy, and we can end up either fighting with ourselves, so we're sort of imbalanced with ourselves, as I said, like I even used the term before, didn't I, like beating ourselves up about it. So we're in this polarity about things, but it can often feel also that we need to fight for something to make changes to something, like something else outside of us needs to change. And what this card really brings back is that we have to be responsible for our own feeling of joy and enthusiasm, because that's what makes the changes. That's what really brings the driving force from the heart and contributes into the world the frequencies of emotions that we want to be available for other people or other organizations, or any changes that we want to see happening in terms of humanity. So it has to always come back to us. If we're fighting because we don't agree with something, that is the original divide and conquer energies. The energies that we're contributing when we're in that state are not energies that we want other people to be feeling, other organizations to take on and embody as part of their agendas. You know, it's all down to us, and this can feel like we're not doing enough and we're maybe ignoring the problem, but the problems have arisen because we've been in those energies for so long, and we've been led to be in those energies as well. We've almost been guided to feel those energies, whether that was a conspiratory reason or whether that's just the way that humanity has evolved. I would take the view that it's how humanity has evolved, and we are now expanding beyond that now, and it's whether you get on board or not. You know, I don't now read the newspapers or watch the news or anything like that. I mean, I have a DVD player here. I don't even have like Netflix or anything like that. I just watch the things that I want to watch when I want to escape into Downton Abbey or something like that, you know. But I couldn't even hardly tell you anything about the B word that's happening in England. I don't know about this. This again is this energy of division and separation and inequality, and we have our own part to play in our own lives. And this is maybe what the procrastination message is about as well. It isn't just you're not getting your little message out there, or say little, but it's actually big in terms of its contribution. It's about contributing so that the whole of humanity can make the changes. And we can either sit back and say, well, you know, the forces outside of us are controlling it, or we can have our input. And I think this is something that people find very hard, is to bring it back to ourselves. But it's the only thing we can do. It's the only thing we can do, because we've tried the other way. We've tried the other way for a very long time. And this doesn't mean that you don't actively make changes and differences. So, you know, if you choose that you want to go and get a shelter dog, for instance, rather than going to a breeder because you really would like to see changes for dogs out there in the world, in your reality that you're seeing, then you can still do that. You know, it doesn't mean that you don't do that. It doesn't mean that you're ignoring the problem. But what it does mean is that when you do that, you're not contributing the energies or the emotions or the frequencies of suffering or shame or blame back into society. So and that's what it really means to connect to your heart. You know, we often think of the heart as, you know, something romantic and, you know, I love my dog loves me, and, you know, all that kind of thing. But really the heart is a driving force that makes changes, and it's so magnetic, it's so strong, and it really puts energies out there back into the collective consciousness. And we need to be aware of what those energies are, and really consider what it is that we're putting out into the collective. So this is the message: connect to your heart. So I should make cat cards, really, because she's always, oh, because I'm finished now. She got up and moved. Honestly, this cat, she's like some conduit or something, feline conduit for the things that come through when I work with the sacred canine heart cards. Interesting. I should make cat ones. So who's here? I know some of you have been, I can see the numbers going up and down. So William says hello, good morning, hello. Hi Liz, hello. Hi Jenny, hi Yasmin, hi Jackie, wow, lots of you. Hi Linda. And Jean, I got your words this morning. That's really cool. Thank you for sending them. I'm doing a mentorship at the moment with 5 amazing women, and I did it just to see really how it would all go. And I'm hoping that in January I'll do it again. And so if you want to be involved in the Sacred Canine Heart, get deeper into who you really are and your authentic being, then look out for that in January. So you're welcome to put up pictures of your dogs as well. If you want to put up pictures of your dogs, you can. I always love that side of things, as you know. So yeah, I hope this message has resonated with you. Today I am actually going to the Church of St. Francis of Assisi, which is in Famagusta or Gazamagusta, depending on whether you're talking the Turkish or Greek way to say it. And I'm going to see if I can channel in a meditation from him or his energies that will still be there in the collective. See what I can bring through. The word that I'm really getting before I even get there is about evolving and humanity evolving alongside nature. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting before I even get there. But yeah, I've been thinking to go for ages, and perhaps because I am an Aries moon, because genuinely that is my moon sign, here I am about to go on the full moon of the Aries moon. So we shall see. We shall see what comes through when I do that. I'm quite excited about going to do that. So thank you for being here. Liz said, hit the spot, Caroline, thanks a lot. Even just the hello made my day. Bless you. Yes. Do you remember when we were younger and somebody was on TV? That always did used to make your day, didn't it? If you saw someone on TV that you knew or they mentioned you. Brilliant. Okay, so have a wonderful day, everyone. Wonderful full moon day. And yeah, consider what your message is and consider what your contribution is, because there's no place for contributing fears and judgments and blames into society now. Our power comes from being in our hearts, which is about magnetically contributing that which we want to see in the world out to the world. Okay, thank you so much.